In the era of modern warfare, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine no longer revolves around infantry movements or tanks on open battlefields. Today, advanced technologies such as precision-guided glide bombs, multiple launch rocket systems, combat drones, and nighttime airstrikes have become integral parts of military strategy. Recently, Russia has shown a significant increase in its use of the FAB 1500 bomb, a deadly aerial weapon with high destructive power, capable of striking distant and concealed targets. In early July 2025, a wave of large-scale airstrikes once again shook several Ukrainian-held areas. Cities like Krasnoarmiysk, Andreevka, and regions such as Zaporozhye became targets of FAB bomb attacks and other military weapons. With this series of attacks, a question arises: what exactly happened and how did it impact the Ukrainian military facilities? Let's unfold the news together. In recent days, tensions along the front lines have continued to escalate. Deafening explosions, bursts of fire splitting the sky, and thick plumes of smoke have become increasingly common sights across various conflict zones. Eastern Ukraine is no exception. Each day seems to bring a new chapter in the escalation of military force. The skies over eastern Ukraine were once again filled with the roar of explosions and thick black smoke. On July 7th, through the Telegram channel Uncensored News, it was reported that the Russian Air Force dropped FAB 1500 bombs on Ukrainian positions in Krasnoarmiysk, DPR. The explosion was so massive that it could be seen from a distance, startling the surrounding area with bursts of fire and dense smoke billowing high into the air. On the other side of the front line, a similar situation also occurred. On July 7th, through the same Telegram channel, it was reported that artillery fire, multiple launch rocket systems, and FAB glide bombs struck the settlement of Andreevka in the Sumy region, an area claimed to be under Ukrainian control. A clear footage captured the dramatic moment just before the strike, as the bombs were dropped and immediately hit two critical points in the settlement. Within seconds, flames erupted and the smoke engulfed the area, marking the destruction caused by just a single wave of attack. Adding to the intensity of the same day, an aerial footage shared via another Telegram channel showed how Russian forces destroyed the location and control center of the Ukrainian armed forces drones near the village of Poltavka in the Zaporozhye region. This strike also used FAB 1500 bombs, demonstrating high precision in targeting strategic assets. However, before the wave of attacks on July 7th shook the front, signs of escalation had already emerged since the night of July 5th. In footage shared by the military news Telegram channel, the dark sky was suddenly lit up by flashes of fire. FAB 1500 bombs once again rained down on enemy positions in one of the frontline sectors. The nighttime strikes left a strong impression of the growing air dominance being asserted. Earlier reports had already surfaced on July 4th, when Uncensored News reported that the Russian Air Force dropped FAB 1500 bombs on Ukrainian positions in Novopavlivka. This strike was part of a sustained bombardment campaign targeting defensive positions across several fronts. Still on the same day, the military news Telegram channel also reported FAB 1500 airstrikes on the 67th Mechanized Brigade in Iskra. In addition, X-39 missiles were used to target the 39th Territorial Defense Brigade in Otradokamenka. These strikes reflect the continuity of Russia's air suppression strategy along the entire front line. However, the events of July 7th and the days prior are only part of a much longer series of attacks that have recently struck Ukraine. In recent days, various regions across Ukraine have been hit by airstrikes, missiles, and glide bomb attacks with increasing intensity. The strikes on Krasnoarmiysk and Andreevka are a small beginning of the larger offensive wave that now strikes Ukraine from multiple directions. With the unrelenting series of assaults launched by Russia, what impact does this have on Ukraine's position on the battlefield? Check this out. The series of airstrikes launched by Russia in early July 2025 marks a new chapter in the intensity of the conflict. No longer for symbolic attacks or psychological pressure, this offensive wave directly targets Ukraine's vital military facilities. Locations such as brigade headquarters, drone control centers, and defense coordination points have become the primary targets of FAB 1,500 bombs, X-39 missiles, and multiple launch rocket systems. The impact is substantial, affecting military tactics, operational continuity, and the troops on the ground. One of the most highlighted incidents was the destruction of a drone control center belonging to the Ukrainian forces near the village of Poltavka in the Zaporozhye region. With the growing role of drones in modern warfare, these control hubs serve as the core of reconnaissance operations and long-range strikes. Beyond the physical damage, these strikes also have a significant psychological impact on Ukrainian troops. The FAB 1,500 bomb is known for its tremendous explosive power, capable of destroying underground structures and defensive bunkers. For the soldiers, this may instill a constant sense of unease, especially when such attacks occur during the night. Overall, these attacks demonstrate that Ukraine's military facilities are now under severe pressure. The infrastructure that once supported their combat capabilities, from logistics and reconnaissance to combat coordination, is being continuously targeted and weakened. If this pattern continues, Ukraine faces a serious risk of diminished military effectiveness across several sectors. Will Ukraine suffer from Russia's upcoming bold move? We'll see it later. Drop your thoughts below. Thank you for watching.